Hello, everyone. I am Elena Valdez, and I'm here to do the reading for parents of the Virgo child for the month of March. And this is for parents and guardians as well. Also, I'd like to remind you that my readings are not gender specific, so you will hear me say he, she, they sporadically, but please, utilize the gender how it best fits your household. And as always, remember these readings are general, so they're not always going to resonate. If it's not for you this month, then maybe next month. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it if you did. I'm very much trying to grow this channel and get it in front of other parents and whatnot. So if you subscribe, I greatly appreciate you for that. And in any case, thank you for being here. Okay, so for those of you who haven't been here before, the first three cards here are from the child perspective. So these cards here are going to give us an indication of what your child is experiencing, your Virgo, here during the month of March. And then I top it off with the final advice card here. And typically the advice card is associated to the conflict that your child may be experiencing, but not always. Sometimes it's a separate advice card just for you, the parent. So it all depends. We'll know as we unfold the reading. And also, I do want to acknowledge that I recognize that there are different age ranges that you may be here for. Some of you are here for itty bitty babies, which is great. Others of you are here for teenagers, and others of you are here for even older children who are already adults. In any case, you're all welcome. So let's get started. So this card will tell us what your Virgo child is experiencing during the month of March. Oh my goodness, how fun. I love it. This is so good. This is what I want to be experiencing during the month of March. So the Four of Wands is a blast. It means that your little one is experiencing family connection and family congruency. And it's lovely. It also means that your child may be observing the adults in his or her life, whether it be, the parents or the grandparents. He or she is observing happiness within that unit or that union. Now, one thing I do want to mention here is sometimes I get comments like, well, how can our child be so happy if, we've been arguing a bit here and there as a couple? Remember that this is from the child perspective, okay? So if you are someone who's having conflict in the household, it just may mean that you're doing a good job of, keeping it away from your child, and what he or she is observing and absorbing is the good stuff, which is really great. This is a beautiful card, isn't it? I love it. It's also about celebration and celebrating vows and celebrating commitment too. So your little one could be a part of celebrating this kind of thing, like maybe in a very literal sense, your little one could be someone's flower girl or ring bearer or something of the sort, and experiencing that kind of celebration and union between two individuals. Maybe it's your own as parents, or maybe you're rewriting vows. But in any case, the general sense here is about happiness, harmony, because that's what this is, after all, harmony within the home, and feeling stability and security within the home. And when I say within the home, it doesn't have to mean the four walls of the home. In other words, you could be traveling as a family unit, and there's a lot of stability and security as you're traveling together and, exploring and adventuring together. So just know, when I use the term security within family, it doesn't necessarily mean the house itself or the edifice. It can be, but not always. Okay, so this is a great way to start off for Virgo here. Especially Virgos can, and again, this is a generalization, but Virgos really, it's important for Virgos to feel sense of stability, right? Because, sometimes there could be a little sense of perfectionism that happens there in general with Virgos. And so to have a sense of harmony here is very healing and very soothing and positive for Virgos, a Virgo child. Okay, so let's move on to the conflict. This card here will tell us if any, potential challenge, conflict that your child may be facing here during the month of March. Okay, so it's about decisions, like making decisions. Couple of things here. So, whatever changes are happening in your household or whatever movement forward you are experiencing as a parent or whatever that is, your little one is experiencing that as final, meaning perhaps this energy here, if it is a ceremony or someone's ceremony, there's a sense of, oh, things are now different, right? And things have now changed, and therefore moving forward, things will look different. But also, it's about rehashing something from the past to be seen again. So perhaps you're going back. This is what I'm picking up intuitively now, is that some of you are actually potentially traveling to an old place that you used to live before, or perhaps visiting family and that's familiar from the past, that's maybe being revisited to recalibrate or to reharmonize in terms of a family unit. And there's a sense here that things are becoming a little bit more like putting the seal, like the final seal on something, and decisions are being made pertaining to those familiar places, things, and people. So this can be as simple as, and this is very, very specific, I know, but this is what I'm picking up. It's almost like, for example, if you have a home or a childhood home, or the home that was your Virgo's childhood home that's being sold and you're moving away from, there's like a finality, there's like an ending to that time of his or her life that's happening. Judgment can also be transitioned from one age period to another, or one class grade to another, because there's a sense of ending and final ending, and you can never go back to it, type of thing, right? So there's something here remember, he or she is still in this really beautiful harmonized energy. This does not take away from this. That is very real, and that's happening. And at the same time, while that's happening, there's this transitionary, this acceptance of things will never be the way they were before, and that acknowledgement that your child realizes that something has changed. It can also be, many times this card comes up when a neighbor, a childhood neighbor, moves away, or somebody, a classmate that used to be like a best bud, is no longer in the same classroom and they move away, right? It's almost like saying goodbye to a friend that once meant a lot. But it can also be a friend coming back where we thought things were the end and that was it, and they come back, or we go back to visit them in that hometown. Okay, so that's a little bit of a conflict, but it's not anything too crazy. It's not disrupting. This is still happening. All right, so let's see now. This card here, this is my favorite position of my readings, because it tells you, the parent, what your child needs most from you during the month of March. And not necessarily what they want, it's more about what they need. Okay, and here you have the King of Cups. So there is a need for you, the parent, or plural, parents, guardians, grandparents, to show more than usual affection and love to your little one. Now, again, there's a harmonizing here, right? So that's already there, but there's something here, like, that is requiring or needing your little one to feel the reassurance of love and nurturing from you. It's also, and actually, a way that you can accomplish this is through play, because this card is about, not only about affection and love, because remember, we're reading it from the child perspective. So this needs to be read a little differently than it would be read if it were an adult read, right? And in this context, what your child is really needing, and what you can facilitate as a parent, is opportunities to play more, opportunities to show affection and reassure that even though this is over, or this finality has taken place, that he or she is still worthy of receiving love, and that he or she will still receive whatever affection and emotion this brought, that is being lost here, or the seal is being shut on, if you will. This is saying that the remedy to that feeling of loss potentially can be remedied by play, more affection, lots of love, literally getting out into water, playing in the water, and just allowing your child to be free and get in touch with the family love or the love that the parents have to offer, right? So there's a little shift. There's something here that's going to require, and this when this comes up, when any King of Cups or Queen of Cups comes up in this position, it tells me that your little one is going to be a bit more vulnerable than usual in this month because it's basically needing your highest form of love. Because the King of Cups is the furthest you can get, right? Because he comes after the Queen. So this means showing up and elevating the way you show your love above and beyond what you normally show and how you show, or playing more than usual than you usually do. Okay. And this is confirming that you will do that and that you'll do a beautiful job doing it. But it's good to be kind of ahead of it, right? And have a heads up that that's the thing that's popping up. Okay, so now let's move on to the advice card from Spirit. And again, this card can be in relationship to the conflict here, or it can be a separate advice card for you. Yeah, so the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so the Three of Pentacles is about communing and collaborating and working together on a goal with other people, sometimes with your coworkers, sometimes with your family, right? It's about accomplishing something new. Also, it can be about working together towards a contract. So I feel like there's the relationship I'm feeling here is that there's a need. First of all, there's some kind of contractual change, whatever contract you as a family, whether it's a home, because this can also be signing contracts for a new home. It's about partnering up with another to start a new business type of thing. It's about coming up with ideas with other people to go into new partnerships. So this here energy that you are experiencing as a parent is what's adding this final thing here. It could be you signed a new lease and so now you're moving into a new school district, or you got a new job and so it's finalizing a schedule that schedule that you used to have has now changed and therefore shifted family dynamic. So I think this is like separate from you. So the advice card here, or the advice, is to include your child in what this is. And I don't mean the intricacies and the details of your contract, or, the intricacies of your whatever it is negotiating that happened here. But it's about including your child in, like, not that way your child's not blindsided of the changes that are about to take place, right? So perhaps you got a new job and that's going to change your schedule. Speaking to your child ahead of time can really soothe any potential feeling or disarray here of feeling like things are final, or perhaps you're temporarily moving somewhere. Whatever it is, this requires that your child be included in the process, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, but there is something you're doing here, you parent or the other parent involved, one of the parents, one of the guardians, one of the adults in the household is getting into some contract that's actually very successful, because the Three of Pentacles is about successful partnering with others and successful contracts. So it's actually very positive for you, the adult, you, the parent, whatever this is that's finalizing family dynamics here. Okay, it's a very positive card for you. So if you were looking for confirmation on whether or not you're going the right path, this is it, dear parent. You are on the right path. So with that said, I'm going to pull a final card. This is not a tarot or oracle card. This is just a fun card that I'm doing this month. It's a little different. And this is for the family. This is basically what I'm asking the cards here is, what is something you and your family can do here together during the month of March? Like, what can you benefit from during the month of March? And you got the card Cleanse. Look how beautiful this is. Cleanse. And sometimes, and here she's smudging her home, right? So this can literally be about smudging your home, whether it's through Palo Santo or sage, doing it together. How fun would that be to do this together as a family unit? Like, hey, let's gather our crystals and, you know, sage the house together, or this new home that we're moving into, this new car that we bought, because some of you are getting new transportation also. Let's clear it together as a family. And by the way, what cleanse can take different forms, right? It can be as simple as coming together as a family and praying together, about the new job you got, about the new home you're moving into, the new school you're moving into, the new car you purchased, whatever it is for you, the new child that's coming in, because there could be an addition of a sibling here as well. So whatever that form may take for you, isn't this just a stunning card, the cleanse card? All those crystals in the background, the full moon. She's like saging during the full moon. It's beautiful. This is about clearing the energy in your household as a family unit. Again, you can do this in a woo-woo way, like I do with sage and Palo Santo, or you can do this in a prayer way, or you can just come together and just build an intention together and clear the air, for a new start for your family, because this is a new start of something. There's something new you're starting again, that's finalizing other things and it's closing the chapter on other things. But it's beautiful. Just remember that in the process, your little one needs some reassurance, some additional reassurance, more than the usual, some play, some fun times, and some affection here. Okay? Alrighty. I hope that this was helpful and that you found some guidance in this reading. Enjoy the spring equinox here coming up at the end of March. And, for me, that's the new year. That's when I celebrate the new year, is the astrological new year is spring. So I hope you enjoy it. And I look forward to seeing you back here in April. And please remember to subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Bye.